Is it possible to give up your home and start travelling full-time whilst juggling an 8-week-old newborn? We're about to find out. Join us as we leave home and begin our full-time travel journey, starting in one of the prettiest regions of England. Subscribe to follow along as we navigate all the ups and downs of family travel.
We are absolutely terrified, but after 11 years of full-time travel, we are determined to do this, so it's sink or swim time.
We can't travel too far at the moment because little Noah still hasn't had his immunisations, and we do have a camper van, but we can't use it because it's not baby proof.
So all we have is this comically sized Fiat at the moment that we can't afford to upgrade.
That we ram all of our stuff into.
The aim is to eventually make our way out to our US camper van, which is set up for a baby. We can't get out there just yet, so at first we just have to explore England.
Why don't we just go for such small things? We've got a tiny van over there and this tiny car that just makes our life more awkward.
We're tiny people.
With tiny budgets.
Well, goodbye home. We'll probably be back there tomorrow night and our dreams of full-time travel are over.
Our tails tucked between our legs.
Knowing us, that's going to happen. Can I get the biggest coffee that you've got?
Getting your food on together now, right?
Yep. Thank you. Don't judge us. We're parents now. We've got 5 minutes from our house and it's taken us an hour. And we've just got cold food now. Do you want me to feed you?
Yes, please. That's awkward.
Go, go, go.
We are starting our new family adventures in the quintessential English region of the Cotswolds, an area famous for its charming villages and luscious green countryside. And our first stop here is the picturesque village of Combe.
No. As long as I'm walking and bouncing and singing, he's completely fine.
He doesn't ask for much.
He doesn't need much. Just constant entertainment at all times.
I absolutely love travelling around the UK this time of year. It's such a pretty time of year to come when it's not raining, especially because you've got the lovely green everywhere. Place like this, you've got all this wild garlic behind which you can also smell, and it's good garlic, not like garlic breath garlic. And bluebells everywhere. They are so beautiful. When you're really lucky, you get to a place and there's whole carpetfuls of them. These woods here are a complete unexpected surprise. I thought we were just going to be walking straight into a village.
Look at these. These ones are really cool.
Oh, hello. Looks like it belongs on an Attenborough.
I was about to say, anything that looks a little bit interesting in terms of nature, I'm like, oh, it's like something that should be on Attenborough. Why? Because it's a bit curly.
Kind of things curl away at night and then come out during the day.
So this here is considered one of the prettiest villages in England, and it is only rivaled by Bybury, which is another place in the Cotswolds that we visited in the past.
Because I think last time we said Bybury, or was it Bibbury?
I do feel sorry for the Americans that come to the UK and then get ridiculed for pronouncing the names of places wrong, because we can't even get them right.
I think we should enter a pact, guys. Who gives a about place names? Let's just say whatever we want. If we want to call it Edinburgh, we call it Edinburgh. Leicestershire, Warwickshire, Gloucestershire.
I don't think I've ever heard it called Edinburgh before.
Well, from now on, I'm just going to say it as I like, and I don't care if I get it wrong.
Combe is tiny and consists of not much more than a church, a shop and a pub, and plenty of tourists like us. I love stuff like this. Honesty box systems out in the British countryside. Sometimes it's like eggs from the farm, sometimes it's cakes and coffee.
Yeah, I've never seen cakes before.
I know.
Honesty cakes.
The quaint village has even been featured on the big screen in films such as Stardust and Warhorse.
You've got to feel sorry for the people that live here when people like me are coming up and filming their houses because they look so nice. Is this the nicest looking place that you've changed our baby so far?
I think it might be.
This is the nicest place that you've pissed yourself.
Yeah, it is. Well done. I feel that it's only fair that now we've shown them England's prettiest village, we should show them England's ugliest village.
Yeah, leave in the comments where's England's ugliest village.
What is the ugliest village in England? Let us know and we'll go there and make a video. How old is he now? 8 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be a boxer. He's going to be a boxer.
She came up and was like, touched my arm, can I have a look at your baby? I won't get too close. I was like, yeah, of course. It is amazing how much joy this little man can bring random strangers in the street.
Yeah, babies just cause everyone just to melt.
Yeah, stop and be happy.
Until he grows up and disappoints all of us.
Yeah.
Subscribers and his parents. This area is famous for these thatched roof cottages that you'll see dotted all over the place. We have been lucky enough to find one on Airbnb, which we're going to now. It is out of the way, because if we want to do it around here, it's going to cost us about £500 a night. But for a fifth of that price, we've got somewhere just on the edge of the Cotswolds in the north.
Although we were having fun, the trip was certainly not easy. We were definitely working by Noah's schedule here and having to stop regularly. That said, we knew it would be no different at home, so we figured we may as well just go with the flow and take each moment as it comes.
Don't say or do anything. Just get him in the car seat and we drive. Wow, look at this house.
So beautiful.
Look at that place. Is that ours?
Yeah, that's ours. Oh, that's so cute. Look at the little red door.
This is absolutely bananas. This is where we're going to be staying. We have to park on the road to drop off our stuff. Luckily it's a quiet place. So I'm just going to quickly drop off the baby and the stuff. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this is adorable.
I have to go move the car, so I'm going to come and check it out in a second, but I've got to get going. There is absolutely zero parking on these small streets, so I've had to go and park it on the main road and walk back to the house. I can't wait to see what it's like inside. I've always wanted to stay in one of these odd thatched cottages, and can't believe we're finally getting to do it.
Before we go any further, we would like to thank today's sponsor, AG1 by Athletic Greens. We have been using AG1 for well over a year now, and we don't go on any of our trips without taking it with us. There is no better way than making sure that we meet all of our nutritional needs whilst on the road than with a scoop of the good stuff. One reason we love AG1 is that one scoop is packed to the brim full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, meaning that we don't have to have a cupboard full of supplements to get the same benefits. But the main thing, to be honest, is just that it saves time and it saves headspace, which is super important, especially now that we have little Noah with us. It helps us meet all of our nutritional needs with the most minimal effort possible. It's super easy to make. All you have to do is add 1 scoop of AG1 to water, shake it up, and it's done. It tastes great and it helps us to start each day in the best possible way. If you're interested in giving AG1 a go for yourself and supporting this channel, make sure to use our link, which we will leave down below, and you will get 5 free travel packs plus vitamin D3 plus K2, which will last you a whole year.
Oh wow. This is so much better than the pictures.
I know, this is absolutely lush. They've even got a big basket of wood there if we wanted to have a wood fire.
What is this? It looks like one of these Victorian sort of school desks, or if not, it's a thing for painting. In all the excitement, I actually forgot that there must be more to this because there's no bedroom or no toilet. So I found this little part up here. I love all these wooden beams everywhere. So higgledy-piggledy, which is also a great word. Oh man, this is where magic used to happen before our little boy was born. Oh, that's so cool with this beam here, holding up the roof. There's so many little doors. Are they going to go anywhere? Oh, it's just the creepy cupboard.
The bathroom's adorable. I mean, how many times has people hit their heads on this? I'm so glad we're not tall. We don't have to worry about any of that. When I was a kid, I actually grew up in the US and I moved to the UK when I was 12 years old. And I remember seeing the thatched roof cottages for the first time and just being completely blown away that people actually lived in them. It was like something from a movie. It didn't seem like a real place to live. So it feels really surreal to actually be staying in one now.
Yeah, and I think this one is from the 16th century. Hey, Smiley Pants. I think this is a good lesson for us of spending a bit more money to stay in somewhere that's kind of in keeping and part of the experience in itself, because when you're driving past all these places, if we just went to kind of a lifeless hotel, it's not the same. It's like eating the food in the local area.
Yeah.
It's just adding to the experience.
It is, yeah. It feels like a traditional experience. And as we're in this traditional part of the UK, it just feels like we're getting the whole package this time.
I'm loving these details around here. Like, look at this. Everyday cooking by Mrs. Beaton.
The first page I've turned to. Practical housekeeping. Unselfishness. A good woman should be a good housekeeper, for the latter must possess one of the greatest of all virtues, namely unselfishness. Mum and baby. I don't know why I'm whispering. Mum and baby are asleep. I'm going to take this time to get out of the house and go and do some work at the local pub. I can't explain how nice it is to be, as a father, to be out providing again. I know it seems weird that this is our job, but it is our job, and haven't been able to do this basically for the last couple of months. We have even discussed about the potential of me going off and doing my own videos so those guys don't have to work effectively. But for some reason Emma doesn't like my suggestions of Las Vegas, Thailand and Eastern Europe for my first 3 trips. Look at this. It's a red telephone box library. Good morning, Mr. Hitchens. He does have a bit of an Ian Rash at the moment. But
Ian Rash.
do you know the football player I'm talking
Well,
about?
I assumed it was a football player.
It's got Ian Rush.
You could have gone for Rashford, a bit more modern. I start each day with such a full heart, and I end it in such despair. I'm joking.
We are starting our day here in the Cotswolds at Bourton-on-the-Water, along with everyone else apparently. It seems to be the place to be today, and we are starting with an epic-sized picnic by the water.
Like anywhere on our travels, if it's by water, it's called the Venice of something, and we are in the Venice of the Cotswolds apparently.
Wow, we have stepped back in time coming in here, haven't we? We've come to the motor museum here, and it is nuts. And look, it's not just the cars. Look at everything on the walls and the ceilings.
If you're from the UK, surely you have heard of Brum, and they have the Brum here. And I have a feeling, as Emma grew up in America, she won't know what I'm talking about. Do you know this guy?
What, this tiny little car?
Brum.
Child's car?
There's so many parts of childhood that we don't overlap with because Emma grew up in the US. This is extremely famous, and anyone in the UK, anyone will know and love Mr. Brum.
I don't know all of him.
And I actually think maybe this is where it's set. So what would happen is he would come to life out of the museum and then go off and have his little adventures and then come back before they'd noticed he'd gone.
Oh, that's cool. So it's actually based in this museum?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, that's very cool. If I knew about that, I probably would know and love him. Every time I see cars like these driving down the road, I think to myself how cool it would be to do a UK road trip in a classic car like this.
Do you remember the last time we owned a really old vehicle?
Run, 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 run.
Yes.
We're not allowed anymore.
Okay. It's probably a wise decision. That face is freaking me out.
He looks like Voldemort.
It does. It's the way the nose is like part of the face.
Went all the way to Cheltenham last week. Only broke down once.
I'm not sure if you can hear the accent of these things. I'm not sure if they're dolls or statues, freaky mannequins, but they have a West Country accent, which is the area of England that I am from, and by pure chance I somehow seem to have avoided the accent. Emma has already told me that if I had the accent of this area when we met, we would not be together.
I feel bad for anyone watching who has that accent. I just personally don't find it particularly attractive.
And if you can't hear it, it sounds a little bit like this. You're right, my lover?
Oh my
You're right, my lover?
Oh my god. Can I get you something from me cart, me lover? That's my attempt at the West Country accent. I bet aliens have just been spectating and watching us for generations, just laughing at the things that we come up with. What is this? Moto ball.
The game was introduced from the continent, and there are now 16 teams playing regular fixtures in this country.
I love that old school British accent on movies.
Yeah. Those are the days when like the only way you could get on telly is if you had that accent.
Don't wake the baby.
Isn't it funny to think that motor cars used to have this as a horn and that was loud enough? This is what you would put on a bicycle these days. Yeah, I like how you had to make that sound effect.
Because I've already tried it and I knew it didn't work.
It's funny, when I hear that noise, all I think is, I found our next camper van.
Oh my. Now that's the hippie wagon. That's a free love camper.
That is very, very cool. Oh my god, I love it. Like, I actually love it.
All of these toy cars are taking me back because I remember my great grandma used to buy me loads of these little classic car toys, but she insisted that they have to stay in the box because they would be worth more money one day. I don't know where they are. I never got to play with them. If the real village wasn't enough for you, they actually have a 1/9 size replica village made out of Cotswold stone, which is what the buildings are made out of here. The cool thing about this is it was made in the 1930s by a local pub owner, and they update it as the shops change over time.
What I want to know is there a mini version of this mini version of the village in here?
Wow.
Where would it
The
be?
inception of model villages.
Exactly. And then would there be another one inside of that one?
It'd have to be.
When would it stop?
I have to say, this is a little bit rubbish. Do you not think? £4.50?
What would you expect?
I don't know. If I was you, I wouldn't come. Just go to the main village.
Wow.
Would you come?
Yes, I think it's quite nice, especially if you had young kids. So I think it would be quite fun for them to run around. I found it. It's the model village of the model village, and inside is another model village.
Okay, that's impressive. That's actually worth the £4.50 just for that joke.
It's only a short walk to the nearby village of Lower Slaughter, which apparently is home to the most romantic street in England.
How nice does that pub look next to the water?
Yeah, very picturesque.
Also, just this waters are making me want to get a kayak and just be going along something like this.
Wouldn't that be so nice?
That is definitely something I'm going to buy in the near future, especially for the camper van. Being able to wake up and go for a little kayak and get away from my annoying family is going to be a dream.
Well, what do you think? Romantic?
I mean, what makes a street romantic? That's what I want to know.
I mean, do you want to make another one of these?
Definitely not.
The final stop of the day is, you've guessed it, another lovely village. And we are now here on Stow-on-the-Wold, and we've come specifically to see this church because on the outside is something that is widely considered to have inspired Tolkien in Lord of the Rings.
This is amazing, isn't it? I've not seen like a doorway like this with the trees either side, especially such old trees. I wonder what came first, the building or the trees?
Yeah, I don't think they actually know the origin of how this happened.
Interesting.
So I believe this is supposed to be the inspiration for Tolkien for the Doors of Moria, which is, I think, the dwarves.
Is that the dwarves? I was going to say, this reminds me of like the dwarves.
We have officially survived our first 2 nights away.
I'm so proud of us. I feel like we smashed it this time.
We've got so much confidence from this experience that I'm excited to keep going. So we are definitely on the road as of now.
Yes.
Surely it's only going to get easier as time goes on.
You shouldn't have said that. Why did you say that? He's asking for trouble, isn't he?
I'm hoping for the drama, for the thumbnails and titles.
Oh no! Ah, is he giving them a smile? You lucky buggers, not everyone gets a smile.
If you like the video, give us a big fat thumbs up and make sure you subscribe for future content coming very, very soon. And do check our personalised link of AG1 down in the description. It really does help our channel out if you use it. And nothing left to say. I actually feel confident to do it a lot more loudly this time than last time. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time, and beans out!